Okay, so I would like to talk about the ecosystem on the permafrost in this area. It is very interesting ecosystem here because here we have a very large and deep permafrost in the soil. And on this permafrost, there is a very beautiful forest. And if we look at the climate here, it is severely dry climate. Precipitation, the amount of rainfall and snowfall in a year is only 250. It's very small amount of precipitation. However, we have a very beautiful forest here. I am very interesting why they can live. I mean the trees can live in such a under a dry climate. And around 20 years ago, I started my research here. And we found very interesting things. Many things I found. But anyway, they are using 3 different kinds of water because water source is very important for them. The first, the water source for plant is snow melt water. Snow melt water is available for trees every year. In early summer. And second water source for plant is rainfall during the summertime. And if the amount of rainfall in the summer is enough, trees can use the rainwater, which infiltrate into the soil and percolate into the soil. And they can suck the water from the root, and they can use it. However, in some summers, we don't have enough amount of rainfall. And the amount of rainfall is not enough for plant. So in that case, they start to use the ice melt water in the soil. Because during winter time, everything is frozen in this area. So in the end of summer, if there is water in the soil, this water can be carried over during winter time until the following summer as ice. So in the beginning of summer, the soil starts to thaw or the melt, and if the rainfall during the summertime is not enough, this ice melt water is used by the plant. So even if the summer rainfall, the amount of summer rainfall is not enough, the plant can use the ice melt water in the soil. So that's why they can survive this in a very dry climate here. So this is very interesting result, I think. Also, the other things which is very interested in is large tree. Because maybe for all of you, large tree is very familiar. And if you go to the forest, large trees are everywhere. But that large tree is very unique trees. Because it's a conifers. Conifer means trees with a needle, not broad leaf, very thin, like a needle leaf. This kind of needle, we call it conifer. Coniferous tree is usually evergreen. For example, if we look at the pine pine tree is also conifer. They have a needle, and this needle is very thick compared to large tree. And what I wanted to say is that coniferous trees is usually evergreen, but large tree is deciduous. So this means every fall, the plant, I mean the large tree, fall the needle. This is very, very interesting because here the climate is very severe. So for plant, it is very important to save carbon because the summertime is very short, only 3 months, June, July, August. So during 3 months, summertime, they need to fix carbon dioxide and store the carbon in the plant body, and next year they have to use that carbon to open the needle. But if the tree is evergreen, they don't need to lose the carbon every year as a fall, needle fall or leaf fall. So the conifers, but at the same time deciduous falling needle every year is very unique aspect. So for 3 months of short summer, they fix the carbon dioxide as many as possible, and they store the carbon in the plant body, and next year they have to use that carbon. As you know, global warming is going on, and most people think under a warmer climate, plants grow more. However, it's not always right. I used a tree ring widows to know how they grow during the past 100 years. And we found during a warm summer period in the past, for example, 1960, 70, and 80, those warm periods, the growth of the tree was small. So less growth during a cold period. Cold period, more carbon was fixed, and the plant, large tree, grow more. However, recently, summer temperature is going on under a global warming, and we found a very rapid increase in the temperature after 1990s. So after 1990s, the summer was actually it was hot and dry, and this hot summer, the plant growth, large growth was less. So the most people expect warm period grow more, but actually this in this area, I mean the very dry area, the trees grow in the cool period, not warm period. So the global warming is going on, and what we expect for the future for this forest under a hot or warm summer with a dry condition, the trees, I mean the large trees, cannot grow well. So if we look at how much carbon dioxide is fixed by the tree, in the future, we cannot say the carbon dioxide fixed, the amount of carbon dioxide fixed by the tree does not increase. Maybe it's decrease. And in addition, there is a high risk of the extreme event. Global warming problem is not only the temperature, but also extreme event. We call it extreme event. For example, a very, very heavy rainfall, or a heavy snowfall, or a severe drought, or a very wet condition. This kind of extreme event frequency will perhaps increase. And I think you remember in 2007, here the condition was extremely wet. And during this extreme wet event, many trees and the trees growing in the depression and in the water died. So many large trees died during this period. So we need to expect this kind of like a disaster for large trees. So the forest, here we have a very beautiful forest, and I love this beautiful forest, but we cannot say this beautiful forest will not continue. It is not always true. So we need to prepare something. And at the same time, we need to think about the environment. And if we can reduce the carbon dioxide emission, that may help the forest in this area. Of course, not only ourselves, but all over the world, people need to do this. But anyway, the beautiful forests should be kept here, because this is not only for your treasure, because this beautiful forest is currently it's a sink of the carbon dioxide. So to keep this forest, we need to do something.